Well, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Mic Drop. I'm your host, Mike, and thank you for joining us and being part of the community here. Mic Drop is a news and sports information show. We want to bring you specifically information about Latin American soccer, the Libertadores, SulAmericana, and the Campeonato Brasileiro, also known as the Brasileirão, one of the most competitive leagues in the world. And so we're super excited to be here. Thank you for your time and for joining us. We'd ask that you send us your questions. If you've got comments, questions, we'd love to talk to you about all that. And, turn this into a conversation, and that would be a lot of fun. So before we, move on to other things that we want to talk about today, I want to just take a brief moment and talk about Relax Formula. This show is brought to you by Relax Formula. Relax Formula is a supplement. It's a nutritional supplement that you can take that is perfect for recovery and muscle fatigue. So if you are someone that is actively, involved in sports or athletics, and you want to, have that recovery time, which is so important, and you want to take care of your muscle fatigue, then Relax Formula is something that you want to look at. It's all natural. There's all kinds of vitamins and minerals and things that will help you. And one of the side effects is it helps you sleep. So if you're someone also that can't sleep at night, have a trouble sleeping, Relax Formula may be something that would be good for you. I invite you to go to the QR code here, and I'll put it back up here, the QR code, or go to relaxformula.com, and you can see some testimonials. You can learn all about it. You can reach Dr. Weir, who's the creator of this product, and I'm sure that they'll answer you all the questions that you have and help you in that decision-making process. But if you have muscle fatigue, or if you're someone that doesn't sleep well, this may be the answer for you. I'm telling you, it works. I use it, and I can just say what it's done for me. So take a look at it at your leisure. Again, the QR codes are here and here and here. So do that, and I'll leave it up for a little bit, and you can investigate. Or go to the website, which again is www.relaxformula.com. That's relaxformula.com. Well, let's get into the Libertadores. So the Libertadores is the big championship in South America, and we're in currently round 2. Tonight there are a number of games. Second round started last night, and I think some on Tuesday. Fluminense in Group A is leading that with 4 points over Colo-Colo, and Cerro Porteño and Alliance Lima brings up the rear in Group A. Fluminense is the current champion, so they're well on their way there and securing a slot in the knockout stage. In Group B, we have Talleres, São Paulo, Barcelona of Guayaquil, and Cobresal. Talleres actually pulled off a miracle tie against Barcelona Guayaquil in Guayaquil last night and propelled them to the first slot in the group. São Paulo had lost to Talleres in the first round and recovered by a difficult game against Cobresal. São Paulo only scoring in the very end of the second half, but was able to win, secured the 3 points, moves into second. Barcelona was winning the game, was leading the table when at the 48th minute or 49th minute of the second half, Talleres tied, and the tie brought them to 2 points in third. Cobresal still has to win. As a matter of fact, they haven't won anything all year. They're even in the Chilean tournament, national tournament. They haven't won anything. They haven't won a game since January. So they are definitely in trouble. In Group C, we have Yucupacho, Estudiantes, and the strongest. The surprise here is Grêmio. Grêmio, a team that has historically done very well in the Libertadores, having won it in the past, has no points and is behind in very difficult situation because they have to win to move to the next stages. If they want to go to the next stages, they're gonna have to win pretty much every game. The Group D, we have Junior Barranquilla, Universitário, LDU, and Botafogo. LDU and Botafogo play tonight, and very interesting game there because Botafogo lost their first game, and if they don't win tonight, they will likely have trouble like Grêmio in the other group. Flamengo, one of the top teams in all of Latin America, redeemed itself after a tie in the first leg of the group stage. They won last night against Palestrino and moved into first place. Tonight, we have Bolívar and Millonarios playing. Bolívar, if they win, could jump to a nice lead in Group E. Independente del Valle, who is a team that's been very good over the last few years, has consistently been a force. They are leading Group F. Although Palmeiras plays Liverpool tonight, and also a very strong team, current Brazil champions, and although they tied in the first round, they played Liverpool of Uruguay, not to be confused with the Liverpool of the Premier League. They will play Liverpool Uruguay tonight, and a win would propel them to a tied position in one of the top spots. So that's Group F. And moving on to Group G, Atlético Mineiro, probably the best team of the whole Libertadores Championship playoff so far in the group stages with 2 wins, and leads Peñarol and Rosario Central. Caracas, also one of those teams, and definitely in probably not going to move on to the next stages with no points. And Group H, we have Nacional of Uruguay, River Plate. Both of those teams play tonight, and will likely, one of them will, with a win, will obviously move into a comfortable position. Libertad and Deportivo Táchira follow. Deportivo Táchira, like Caracas, in quite a bit of a pickle, with no wins at this point in the series. We'll be back next week with more information. Well, the next games are not till the week of the 25th, so we'll come back with more information on Libertadores at that point. But very interesting. If you have a chance, watch these games. Some of the international rivalries are really good. I think this Nacional of Uruguay versus River Plate will be a great game to watch. And you have a number of others. The Palmeiras, a good team to watch, very fast. And their forward, Endrick, who's moving on to Real Madrid in the next month or so, is definitely somebody you want to watch if you have a chance to do that. We're going to be right back with more, so stay tuned. Well, we're here talking about South American soccer. Send us your comments. Send us your thoughts. If you like the show, give us a like. Send us click that subscribe button. And we'd love to hear from you as we are progressing through the show and answer questions and, turn this into more of a debate. So please do that when you have a chance. Send us your questions in the chat. Love to hear from you. Before we go into the Campeonato Brasileiro, here's a little quiz that you might want to take. We think it's a fun way to learn a little bit more about Latin American and soccer in general. Let's see. I forgot to unmute myself. Sorry about that. How did you do on the quiz? We hope that you did well. Did you answer all the questions? Did you know what the stadiums were or the answers to the sports trivia? Always a fun little thing just to add to the discussion and the thoughts. So if you've got any questions, send us those questions so we can discuss and talk about that. Let's move on to the Brazil Campeonato Brasileiro, which is going to start here this weekend. For those of you that don't know, Campeonato Brasileiro is very much like the Premier League in terms of there are 20 teams. They play 38 rounds. These rounds are home and away, and then you win on the whoever has the most points at the end of the season is declared the winner or the champion. And so this weekend begins that tournament that will go from now till December. So round one is this weekend. The opening games are Internacional against Bahia and Criciúma and Juventude. Internacional is in a bit of a pickle. They're going to they lost in the middle of the week and are going to play Bahia, which is part of the City group of company or clubs, and Manchester City and all that. And so Bahia has been kind of added to their roster and a little more robust, and are going to really be fighting for top positions in the tournament. Internacional, as I said, is in a bit of a pickle because they lost in the middle of the week to a team that had never even left Bolivia, I believe it was. And this has caused an uproar with the fans, and there's been protests. And so they have to really redeem themselves this Saturday to kind of get things back on track. Meanwhile, Criciúma and Juventude are the debutant teams that are back in the Premier League of Brazil. Both of them were playing in the B series, which is the second division, and moved up this past year. So they will be debuting, and funnily enough, they opened the series, the whole tournament by playing each other, and should be an interesting game. Both of those teams really looking to stay in the A division or the premier division of Brazilian soccer, and are probably most likely trying to fight relegation the entire year versus any other aspirations. Should be an interesting regional kind of game because both teams are from the south of Brazil. Fluminense and Bragantino will play at 8 p.m. Fluminense, the current Libertadores champions, will take on Bragantino, which is part of the Red Bull franchise of teams. Red Bull Leipzig, Red Bull New York, Red Bull Bragantino, all part of the same family. Bragantino's been kind of a mid-level team. Fluminense comes in strong. And definitely could be a potential contender for the title. São Paulo also plays at 8 p.m. against Fortaleza at home. São Paulo is another team that's been having some difficulties. They have a new coach and hasn't done so well. The fans have been very adamantly against him. And although they won in the middle of the week, it was against a team that's not very good. They still had difficulties and only won late in the game in the second half. And so the coach is under a lot of pressure. They look for a good result on Saturday against Fortaleza, who is a team that has been consistent. They have a coach that's been there for 3 years in Voivoda, and could be a difficult matchup for São Paulo. But São Paulo has to win that game to bring some peace to the current turbulent times that are happening there. A very interesting game is Grêmio and Vasco. Those have been long-standing teams in the Brazilian lineup of the tournament. Although they have been in the past relegated to the second division, both of them recently have been mainstays, and it's a nice rivalry between the south of Brazil and Grêmio and Rio's Vasco da Gama. Atlético Paranaense takes on Cuiabá. Atlético Paranaense is probably a dark horse favorite to win the tournament, but very difficult to play them in their own stadium. And Cuiabá, who's been up from the B series for 4 or 5 years now, have consistently been a mid-level team. They seek to kind of move out of that, and so it'd be an interesting matchup there. Flamengo picks up debutant Atlético Goianiense, who had been in the A series, or the Brasileirao as we call it, and had dropped down. But Flamengo's one of the top favorites to win the whole thing. They'll probably play with a mixed team for this, as they're really kind of more focused in the Libertadores in the early stages of this tournament. I think they'll probably play with a mixed team of players. Atlético Goianiense is one of those teams that, again, are going to fight for relegation and could surprise a few teams, but probably not a contender at this point. Probably the big game on Sunday to watch at 3 p.m. Eastern is Corinthians and Atlético Mineiro. Atlético Mineiro is, I think, one of the contenders for the tournament. Corinthians is struggling. They've had a horrible beginning of the season, changed coaches, got rid of players, had players quit, have brought in some new players, kind of in a rebuilding season. And they did not do well in the first part of the year, with the regional tournament being knocked out during the group stage. But they are looking to rebuild. They're always a force at home. They have a huge fan base and can never be discounted. And so the Fiel, as they're called, will be cheering them on as they take on Atlético Mineiro, who has Hulk and a number of other top players, and is definitely a contender. They're coming off probably one of the good moment in their season, as they are undefeated in the Libertadores, and they recently won their state championship. So we're excited. That should be a good game. And please try again. And that is a game that probably would be one to watch. If you have the time to do that, that would be one of the games that I would recommend watching. Corinthians against Atlético Mineiro. Cruzeiro and Botafogo are the mid game of Sunday. Cruzeiro is owned by R9 Ronaldo Phenomenon, who played for Real Madrid with Beckham, versus John Textor, who owns a number of teams, including Crystal Palace and Lyon in France. Botafogo and Cruzeiro has historically been a big matchup, and that should be also an interesting game. Both have new coaches, and so have come from not such good moments, and so they're kind of also in a rebuild mode. And to close out the night, we have Vitória, who is a debutant for this season for the Premier League of Brazil, moving up from the B series, and Palmeiras, who's also one of the heavy favorites and current champion. Vitória will take on Palmeiras, and that should be a fun game to watch. Palmeiras with Hendrick, who is one of the new phenoms to watch on the world stage, moving soon to Real Madrid. So if you want to see that kid play, you can catch that on Sunday at what is that, at 5:30 Eastern? Vitória against Palmeiras. Well, as we continue here, 1994, Brazil won the World Cup here in the United States, and it was exactly 30 years ago. This July 13th will mark the 30th anniversary of that. And a while back, some of the players who were in that game, who participated, were players at the time, revisited this Rose Bowl and went down memory lane. And so we have a little moment here. We wanted to recognize those guys and thank the CBF TV for this little package that they sent us.
Vai chorar agora, hein, cara?
medida do tempo que a gente começou a ficar aqui no campo, visualizando um pouco.
It's great to be back in the stadium.
Onde que a gente subiu para
see the number 19 section where we got our medals and the trophy.
A entrada do campo, o percurso que a gente fez. Essas coisas vêm na memória, né? Muito feliz, lógico, feliz de estar aqui, tendo essa possibilidade com a seleção brasileira.
Be with the national team.
É bom estar com o Dunga e o Gilmar também aqui, né?
Acho que
vale bastante a gente recordar, né? Que a gente
remember these moments are
dificuldades, venceu junto. E agora tá aqui abraçados, aí batendo foto,
together,
3 crianças ali, né?
Esse é decisivo! A bola que vale um tetra é essa aí! Pode valer um tetra! Se Tafarel pegar, se Baggio não botar pra dentro, o Brasil é tetra! A bola do tetra! A primeira bola do tetra! Lá vai Baggio! Vai cobrar, colocou para fora! Brasil tetra campeão mundial de futebol! Brasil tetra campeão do mundo! Brasil tetra campeão mundial de futebol! Meus amigos, é uma loucura! Agora acabou o sofrimento! Viva o Brasil! Viva o Brasil!
Confesso que naquele momento me bateu assim um nervosismo.
Well, that was a nice moment with Tafarel, who was the goalkeeper then in 1994, now current goalkeeping coach for Liverpool FC, as well as the Brazilian national team. We hope to have him on one of our shows soon. He's a good friend of ours, and we're excited about what he's doing, and we'll try to see if we can catch up with him at some point. But again, we want to thank our sponsor, Relax Formula. You can go right here to this QR code, or you can go to relaxformula.com, and check it out. Relax Formula is a all-natural supplement that will help you sleep well. And what that does is it actually helps you in recovery. As we know, when the body sleeps, it fixes itself. So Relax Formula is something that you might want to consider as a way for your recovery if you're an athlete, or if you're in athletics, or if you're working out all the time and you have that muscle fatigue and you want to take care of that. Relax Formula may be the answer for you. Go check it out, relaxformula.com, or go up here to the QR code and check it out. It might be something that would be good for you. We thank you so much for watching today, and we're going to be back with more information, more surprises, interviews. We have some special interviews that will be coming up in the next few shows. So we ask that you will join us and give us that like. Again, hit the like button, hit the bell so that you're notified of any updates that we do. Again, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time on the Mic Drop.